Welcome to our podcast where we look for opportunities in our lives to see a beautiful view. I'm Candy.
And I'm Paul. Thank you for joining us again today.
Yes, thank you for joining us. We're really enjoying producing these episodes for you and have had a lot of great feedback. We initially said we were going to commit to 4 pilot episodes. Well, this is number 4.
Yep.
And we hope you've enjoyed them so far. We are planning to continue to bring you our conversations about our RV adventures, raising children, marriage, family, friends, community, and faith.
Yes. And you can now join the Beautiful View Patreon channel.
Cool.
Which helps us to cover our production costs and will enable us to continue the show. We are starting off our memberships at $5 a month. So if you would like to help, you can find the link in our show notes. And if you join our Patreon as a patron, we will send you a Beautiful View sticker and give you a shout out on the show to thank you for your support.
A sticker? I need a new sticker for my laptop and maybe another one for my water bottle. Oh, and the kids are going to want at least one each, too. How many are you ordering?
Well, I guess 4 for you and the kids. Yay. And I'm going to want one for my mini fridge in the outside kitchen of the RV, you know, to join all the others on there.
Yeah.
And a bunch more for our new patrons.
Awesome. Also, if you're a business owner, then we have a great opportunity for you to become a sponsor of the Beautiful View podcast. We won't go into too many details here, but if you like what we're doing and if you're interested in sponsoring the show, then send us an email at beautifulviewpod@gmail.com.
We are so excited to share with you again today.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the beautiful view.
We could climb a mighty mountain, float on down a winding river, travel back in time and face our future too. Oh, I'm not scared of where I'm going, 'cause I know whose hands I'm holding. Oh, I'd go anywhere as long as you're going to. Well, I'd go anywhere as long as I'm with you.
Today's podcast is going to be a fun one. We are going to talk about how to live with quirky people.
Oh, I don't know any of those. So, well, you know, we've had a lot of comments over the years about living in such a close space with your spouse and your kids. How in the world do you do that? It definitely isn't everyone's cup of tea to live that closely with their immediate family members, but we did it.
Yes, and most of the time we really enjoyed it.
We did. Most of the time.
You have to have a quirky personality to live that lifestyle. You have to be able to view life outside of the box. It's not a normal way of living.
It's really not, no. But there's not really much normal about those of us that are a little quirky, so
no,
that's okay.
So we asked the kids what quirks they have observed in us over the years.
Just for fun, I actually put all of this together, and Paul doesn't even know what his quirks are.
Well, see, the thing is, I do know what my quirks are.
Well, but it'll be really interesting for you to hear what everyone else thinks your quirks are.
Interesting.
It will. Our kids are pretty quirky too, believe it or not. But since they aren't here to defend themselves, we'll just kind of stick to mine and Paul's quirks for today.
I'm a little nervous.
Some are a little quirkier than others. So,
okay.
Here we go.
Not all bad, right?
No. I will say that the kids said that Daddy's quirks are a lot easier to come up with than Mom's quirks.
I'm sure they're very easy to come up with.
We're just going to jump in feet first here. So from Emily, Emily says, Dad's quirks are easy. Here's a few goofy ones. And all of these are true. So number 1, Dad's quirk. You ready, Dad?
Yes.
He sings silly songs when he's tired.
Yeah.
This is true, especially on a long road trip. We know when he's done.
Yeah. I'm walking backwards for Christmas.
Yes.
Across the Irish Sea.
Yeah. That's just one of many. Yeah. And she also said that Dad grunts constantly in the morning instead of forming coherent words. This is true, especially before coffee.
See, I don't think that's unusual to me. I think that's true of most guys.
That could be. That could be. But
okay.
It's interesting that that's one of the things that she picked up on.
So I obviously do it a lot.
You do. Okay, so number 3. You spit out random bits of information with no context at completely random moments. This is true. It's really hard sometimes. And sometimes that even comes out in our podcast.
It does. I have this conversation that goes on in my head, and I'm not saying a lot of it, and then I'll just blurt out an answer.
Yeah.
And
then you're like, did I say that out loud? I think you just did that earlier, actually, just about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. That was Emily's for her daddy. Those are all very true. And she had a couple for me, too.
Okay. Hey, I get to read these.
So you can read mine.
Yes, I get to read these. Okay. Number 1. She has random deep cleaning sprees.
Oh, that's true.
Which she does say thank you, so she at least
she appreciates at least
it. But you do have random deep cleaning sprees.
I do.
I don't. It's not a quirk though.
I mean, I don't know.
It's not a quirk. Okay, next. She is Mama Bear. Not she is a Mama Bear. She just is.
So I'm like the OG Mama Bear?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. And we've seen Mama Bear several times.
She comes out every once in a while.
She does. Okay, the next one. Number 3. She is an early riser, and generally she's in bed early as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I tend to wake up with the sun, and then once it goes dark, I'm ready to go to bed. And then Tyler's next. And I think he said that his coming up with his daddy's quirks were pretty easy too. So let's see what he has to say.
No doubt.
So he said Dad likes to make lots of noises. For example, tapping and creaking to drive the girls crazy and make me laugh. That's true. And especially with like cabinet doors, you like to
yeah.
squeak.
And then I have that app on my phone.
Oh my word, yes.
I have a tone generator on my phone from back in the days when I used to do audio engineering. Mm-hmm. And I can generate tones that are high enough that adults can't hear them, but drive children bananas.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they do. And you just do it for fun.
Every now and again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He said also Dad tells dad jokes and lots of them. Yeah, I think that's a general dad thing.
The dad jokes, so dads have to tell them, otherwise they'll go extinct.
I think our kids were being really nice to us, actually, with coming up with these quirks. Like, all of these are really pretty. And he said, Dad knows how to fix anything.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, it is sweet.
So not all quirks are bad things.
Okay.
So, you have to kind of balance. Some quirks are a little, harder to deal with than others.
Yeah, true. Okay, so now Tyler's choices for Mama's quirks. Mm-hmm. Number 1, she really enjoys her quiet time. See, that's not a quirk.
Oh, well, it's
a habit. It's a good habit. It's not a quirk.
Yeah.
Number 2, she makes a yummy breakfast nearly every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So we're beginning to see who's the problem in this relationship and who is not the problem. And number 3, she makes sure everyone in the household is getting along.
Well, I am kind of a peacemaker. That's true.
Well, we've got to have one, right?
Okay. So let's move on to our quirks about each other and about ourselves. This is probably going to be where it really gets real. Are you ready?
Yes, I guess I'm ready.
Paul rarely drinks from a can. he always has to have a glass.
That is very true.
It doesn't matter if we're camping. It doesn't matter if we're at home. He will rarely drink from a can.
It just tastes better in a glass.
Okay, fair enough. That's definitely a quirk.
It is a quirk.
So, number 2, he loses his glasses and or keys and or wallet on a daily basis. And sometimes multiple times a day.
Sometimes multiple times. Sometimes you'll find my glasses for me. And I would have had my wallet on me while I was looking for the glasses.
But you couldn't see past your nose because you didn't have your glasses.
True, but then I'll put my wallet down while I'm looking for my glasses and then have to get you to help me find my wallet.
There's that. It can be exhausting sometimes. Number 3, you tend to say things with complete confidence, sounding very, much like you know what you're talking about.
I do.
Sometimes you're correct.
And if I'm not, I say sorry.
Sometimes. Okay. So, and I will back up what Tyler said. He likes to tap, creak cabinets, shake his leg, all the things to aggravate everybody else, but absolutely cannot stand when someone else does it.
I can dish it out.
And will absolutely come unglued if someone else does it.
I can dish it out, but I
you can't take it. Nope. Oh, and this one is really awful. I hate it. So he said he thinks it's hilarious to stick his finger in your mouth mid-yawn. And I'm telling you right now, one of these days he's going to lose a finger. I'm not even joking.
And I'll totally deserve it.
You will. He tried to do it to Gracie the other night. She about lopped his finger off. Okay, so that was fun. I know I give you a hard time, but I also have quirks of my own. So let's, I came up with 3 things that I'm really quirky about.
Okay,
so you ready?
Yeah.
Very definitely the state of our house, like how clean or messy it is, definitely reflects my mental state of mind. If the house is a mess, that usually means that my brain is a bowl of spaghetti.
Okay. And that's not something I would say that I had particularly noticed before.
But now you will.
Well, now I will. But now you mention it, it is absolutely true.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And I will add to that, it's not often that the house is out of shape.
Well.
So it means that it's not often that you're out of shape.
Maybe not. I don't know. It feels like a lot more than I like it to be. Okay. Quirk number 2 of mine. And I can't explain this with science, but the cup you drink your coffee out of really matters.
I'm going to agree with you on that. And to boot, I am going to go back to the drinking out of a glass instead of out of a can. Because you can't, like otherwise this is double standards here.
Fair enough. So I actually, sadly, when we were in Texas several months ago, I broke my beloved coffee mug.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't a good moment.
It was bad. I mean, we had to go and get me another. My mom offered me several mugs that she had, but none of them were right. No. So we had to run to Walmart and get a new mug.
A suitable replacement.
Yes, it has to be just the right weight. The handle has to be curved just right so that it fits my hand, and all of just the way I hold it. Like all my fingers have to fit in, and
just
my thumb has to work.
Yeah. I mean, it
struggle's real.
Oh, it is. Yeah. And all I need is my drink in a glass.
Okay. So number 3, how a towel is folded.
You put this
is really important
at the end. Okay.
So early in our marriage, we got into we'll call it a discussion, maybe heated discussion about how towels should be folded, because we had this tiny cabinet in this apartment that we lived in.
We did. And
so the towels had to be folded in a way that you could get them in the cabinet and then close the doors.
Yeah. True. Very true.
Paul helped me fold the laundry one day.
Now at this point, I was innocently just trying to help.
You were. I know.
And so I folded the towels, and I think I started off folding them just like the first way that came to mind.
In half and in half again?
Or whatever, yeah. Something like that. And then I was looking across and you were folding some other towels. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, okay, she does it differently. So I think then I tried to do it the same way as you, and I didn't really know what I was doing. So I kind of ended up with a cross between how I did it and how you did it. And then the whole time I'm kind of noticing how you're getting more and more frustrated. And I'm like, I'm here helping.
I know, but I was just going to refold them so that they would fit in the cabinet. I wasn't going to make a big deal out of it, but I think you got your feelings hurt.
I got my
over
feelings
towels
hurt. Over towels, I did.
But that is definitely, I mean, you have to fold towels a way that they will fit in your cabinet. And we fold them different in the house than we do in the RV because we have different cabinets.
Well, now I'm well trained.
You are. You've come a long way.
I have come a long way. And okay. I'll only ever fold them wrong if I'm doing it deliberately.
Deliberately to aggravate me, yes. And that is also something that you do, yes. Okay, so now it's your turn. Now you can tell all of my quirks, and then you can tell us all about your quirks.
Well, I will say that coming up with my quirks is far easier than coming up with yours.
Well. But
here is my list of my beautiful wife's mediocre quirks.
Mediocre.
She has to make the bed a certain way. And this, again, is a skill that I have learned. Mm-hmm. And on occasion, see if I can get away with doing it slightly differently.
Yeah, like putting a pillow upside down so that the patterns don't match.
I think the last time I did that, I got away with it for at least an hour.
Yeah.
Before you noticed and went back and fixed it.
Yeah. That's probably because that was probably a spaghetti brain day.
Okay. Number 2, you cannot leave dirty dishes until the next day. It drives you bananas to leave dirty dishes in the kitchen sink. Even if they're stacked neatly and not
covered
a problem.
Covered with a towel, whatever.
I'll say, hey, just leave them until tomorrow. And you can't do it.
No, it drives me crazy.
Okay. Number 3, this is a definite quirk. You always have to, so when we're out on a walk, you always have to cross at the pedestrian crosswalks exactly from the right spot. You come to a full stop. You face exactly the right way. You look left, right, left.
Now, hold on. Is that not what you're supposed to do? I am setting a good example.
To me?
Yes.
It's like, there's nothing coming. Let's just cross. But you have to go down. And
I do. And I even try to get the dogs to pay attention and do it the right way.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
It's important for them to know.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Next. And I'm going to say this one, but I'm going to let you get away with it because, I mean, we are driving around a huge rig, but you do the whole white knuckle ride, holding onto the door handle. But the thing about that is it's at times where I'm not expecting it. It's not like, I mean, you will do it at the times I am expecting you to be white knuckling it, but there's other times and we're just driving along and everything's fine. And I'm just like thinking about something or other. And then I notice you're hanging onto the door, like the handle's like bowing where you're yanking on the thing. And I'm like, what good does it do?
So I was thinking about this. I think that's when I've been like looking at my phone or something. And then I just kind of look up and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's cars all around.
Well, yeah, we're driving down the interstate.
Yeah, I know. But it's like, when you're looking at your phone, that's true. When you're looking at your phone, you're kind of lost in another world. Okay. And then you kind of look up and it's like, oh gosh. I don't know. I don't know why I do that.
I have a funny story about that. I'm going to tell it.
Okay.
I went back over to the UK one time, and that's a long plane ride. So it's about 9.5, 10 hours on the plane.
Yeah.
And I don't do well. I can't sleep on a plane. So I get into London and I'm absolutely exhausted. My brother comes to pick me up, and obviously at first you're getting your bags, you're saying hi, I hadn't seen him in years. And so we go out to the car, get in the car, and it's just so odd where, you know, like the steering wheel is on the
other side.
And we drove out of the airport. We get on the motorway, the British equivalent of an interstate. And pretty soon I fall asleep.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So I'm fast asleep. And my brother drives faster than I do, I think. And we'll come to a stop suddenly. And so I'm gone. Like my head's nodding, I'm going. And suddenly the car stops, wakes me up. I'm sort of like moving forward in my seat because it was very sudden. I open my eyes and
you're in the driver's seat.
The American me is like, oh crap, I have fallen asleep driving. So I reach out in front of me to a steering wheel that is not there. Panic, let out some kind of small yelp or something. And my brother just starts laughing at me. He thinks that
awesome.
is hysterical. So
that's pretty funny.
I guess I've been on the other side of that. But yeah. But nonetheless, okay, last one here is that you always turn the light out when you leave the room. Now, that's not...
You're supposed to. Are you not supposed to do that?
But you see, I'll follow you into the room. I'm like, I can't see anything. It's like, why didn't you just leave the light on? It's especially in the RV, it's like LED lighting. It's taking like 0.05 watts of electricity to run these lights. Like, what the heck? Anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
So as I said, you know, your quirks are not bad, especially compared to mine.
Well, you know, okay, so let's hear yours. So what do you say that your quirks are? And I'll confirm or deny.
Well, when we were talking about this the other day, I kind of came up with quite a few. And I realize
so what was funny,
have a problem.
What was funny though is we were actually camping with friends when we were talking about this.
Yeah.
And in our conversation with our friends, like most of these quirks popped up within a span of about 30 minutes. Okay, carry on.
Instant
I'm sorry.
confirmation. Okay. First of all, it's not a thing until it's been converted into my idea.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
And Candy is very quick to point it out to me. And when she does, it's undeniable. Because she's usually been talking about that exact same thing like 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
And then...
But now it's your idea.
Now it's, you know what we should do? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's what I told you 5 minutes ago. All right. Yeah, but now it's my idea.
Yeah. Oh, that is definitely a quirk.
But thankfully, it's something we laugh about, right?
Usually, yeah.
It's funny?
Yeah, usually.
Okay. Number 2 of many. We are going to stop in this list somewhere. So.
Oh, why? This is fun.
I have to be the first person at the church if I have anything to do with the service.
Oh, you do. Yeah.
And I don't know what that is. It's uncontrollable.
Even if the doors are locked.
Even if the doors are locked, I'll stand outside the locked door and wait for someone with a key. Just so
that they know that you were there before them?
I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is. I just and if I get there in plenty of time and I'm like, I'm first and there's someone already there, I get really upset with myself. Not with them, with me.
With you, because you didn't do your best to get there
before anyone.
Okay.
Number 3, which is something that our friend Laurie picked up on one time. I always wear black crew socks with everything. No matter pants, shorts, no matter what shoes I'm wearing. black crew socks.
I don't think you've worn them with flip-flops, but you also don't hardly ever wear flip-flops.
I don't wear flip-flops.
That's another quirk.
Because they're an abomination.
He can't keep them on his feet. Anyway, moving on.
Oh my goodness. Someone's going to come and lock me up after this. This one is an absolute. I have to butter my toast while it's still hot, or I got to start all over.
So, wait a minute. So when you bring me toast, is that why? Because you...
Well, I get easily sidetracked, because usually there's either...
So that's why. So when you bring me toast, it's
Before
because you didn't get butter on it in time?
Yeah, but you like the toast, right? So I'll get sidetracked. I'm making coffee. I'm letting the dog out or giving them their breakfast or something. Mm-hmm. And the toast pops and I haven't noticed. And so it's less than hot. Okay. And I'm like, oh, I lost the moment.
Okay.
Lost it. So
I'll give it to Candy.
Yeah. So it gets given to someone else. They can have toast before me.
Okay.
Isn't that great? Isn't that considerate of me?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. This list will end, I swear. I cannot listen to two sources of music at the same time.
Yeah.
And my wonderful daughter, Emily, has a really wonderful skill. She is completely able to hum or sing a song while another piece of music is playing on...
It's because she always has a song in her head.
Well, and I do appreciate that, but like, when
if the radio's already on,
if the radio's already on, or if like, we've got the Bluetooth speaker playing or whatever, and then she starts humming a song that's completely different. It's like this dissonance that builds up and drives me bananas.
It's kind of a skill to be able to do that, because I don't know that I could. Yeah,
I don't know. It's
good job, Emily.
Great job, Emily. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
There's one more. Go on.
Okay, I have to drive slightly different routes to and from a place. So if we are taking a trip in to pick up our grocery order, I will go one way on the way there and then a slightly different route on the way back. So the hardware store.
Yes.
For one thing, it's just not possible. When you're doing a project, it is not possible to take one trip to the hardware store
and get every single last thing that you need. We never do that right.
I don't think anybody can. You do your best, but when you get back, you realize all the things that you forgot, or you come across something else that you need.
Yeah.
So I go there. I'll come back a slightly different route, and then if I have to go out again, I'll find another way to do the route on the way back again.
Yes, you do. And I'm like, where are we? I've never seen this road before.
So anyway, that's just a little quirk that I have amongst the other 57 quirks that you deal with on a daily basis. All I have to say is, I'm sorry, and I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, that was fun. So we made it. We made it through. But I think it's true that everyone has quirks.
That's true.
And there's a good chance that you probably live with quirky people too, even if you live alone. Some quirks are really positive traits and make us interesting and fun. Others, well, they can be tricky to navigate.
When we lived in our RV, we really began to notice our own quirks as well as each other's that we had never noticed before, simply because we were in such a small space together. But I think that really taught us a lot about how to navigate our relationships and also to communicate better.
Yeah, it did. Ultimately, love, acknowledgement of the quirkiness around you, and communication is always the key. It's important to acknowledge not only other people's quirks, but also our own. And you need to learn to laugh at yourself.
You do. We do a lot of that.
Yes, we do.
As we've been preparing for this podcast, we've laughed so hard every time one or other of us points out another quirk. It really is silly, but silliness also keeps things fun. When you can have fun and laugh together as a couple or a family, that really is a special thing.
Quirks are what give us our personalities. They're what makes us beautifully unique.
People with quirky personalities are interesting and intriguing. They often have a unique way of thinking and solving problems. See there, babe? It's not all bad. They aren't afraid to live outside their box, and they are not afraid to be who they really are, and that is a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I came across a scripture the other day that I think fits this really nicely, so I want to kind of wrap up with that. It's Ephesians 4:2.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love."
Yeah.
Right?
We have a lot of love.
We do have a lot of love. We also have a lot of faults, and that's okay too.
That's okay.
I like to call them quirks.
Quirks.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening today. This concludes our 4th pilot episode. We made it.
We did.
If you know of someone who would enjoy this podcast, please tell them about it. In our next episode, we will be talking about bloopers and pickles.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We realize we've been leaving you hanging from our first episode about how we had to have police assistance one time. So we're going to tell you all about that and other pickles we've gotten ourselves into.
There have been quite a few. Thank you again to Tyler and Kelsey for permission to use your music on our podcast. And please check them out, The Hopeful Few, on Spotify or Apple Music. The links are in our show notes.
If you have any questions you would like us to answer or suggestions for things you would like us to talk about in our future podcasts, email us at beautifulviewpod@gmail.com. You can also follow Beautiful View Podcast on Facebook and Instagram.
And also, just a reminder, please consider joining the Beautiful View Patreon channel. This will really help us to keep the episodes coming. Again, the link is in our show notes, and we will also post it on our Facebook page.
We hope you have a great day, and remember to always keep an eye open for opportunities to see a beautiful view.
Even if it is a little quirky.
The quirkier, the better.
We could climb a mighty mountain, float on down a winding river, travel back in time and face our future too. Oh, I'm not scared of where I'm going, 'cause I know whose hand I'm holding. Oh, I'd go anywhere as long as you're going too. And I'd go anywhere as long as I'm with you. Yeah, I'd go